Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, guys. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So, guys, welcome. Today we're going to talk about the Trinity again. See, I want to give you guys all the information you need. Okay. So, because I know the language they use, and majority of the Christians actually have no idea of what they are talking about, and they know this, and they just hope it is true. Okay, but we will continue to expose this using a criteria that we all agree to, which is monotheism. Okay, we use monotheism to expose this idea. Now, today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. It's something that is popular now that people are using. Okay, so you hear popular apologists like the guy from Cross Examined, I think it's Frank Turek or something like this. Yeah, he has like a chart where he shows like how there are three who's and one what. Okay, let me just put it out there. The three who's and one what. So this is another way they've, instead of saying three persons and one being, they're saying there are three who's, because when you talk about a person, you're talking about a who. And when you're talking about a being, you're talking about the what. Okay, so let's just go over this argument. Now, they say a who. When you say who is what makes a person who they are. Okay, so this is a person. I would like to say an identity. Okay, identity. So the who is about identity. Okay, or the who is what individuates you. Individual. So individual. Or if you want to become a little bit philosophical, you can say an instantiation. Instantiation. Okay, that's a who. Okay, now a what, on the other hand, they say the what is a being. Okay, so you say the being is what makes a person what they are. Oh, you see the language I just used there. So okay, let's not use person, let's say a thing. A what is what makes a thing what is it that it is, and what is this thing? So they want to say that, see, when we say who, it's different from when we say what. Okay, so that's the whole point. That when I ask you who are you, I'm not asking you what kind of human being are you or something like this. What are you? I'm asking who are you. So they're saying there's difference between who are you and what are you. Okay, fair enough. So the being, so and then let me put this word they always use, hypostasis. Okay, hypostasis. And then this one, the being is the ousia. Okay, you hear this word ousia. Okay, ousia, one ousia, three hypostasis. Okay, you hear this a lot. Now, the being can also be the essence of something. So what is the essence of this particular thing? The essence. The being can also be like a nature, the nature of such a thing. What is the nature of this thing? Okay, so there are many ways you can explain the being. So you can call it like this. And in philosophy, a being can be a universal. Okay, a universal or a property. Okay, now you have gone through, like, there are many ways you can explain it, but just focus on this. Do not make it too complicated. Just stop here, right here, because this is the language they use, and this is one we are talking about today, the who and the what. Now, they are saying, for some reason, when you just ask them, like, look, this is three gods right here, they think, no. We are saying there are three who's and one what. So in one sense, there are three who's, and in another sense, there is one what. Okay? Now, they think that is enough to solve the problem. And this is what I've been showing on this channel. I see is not enough to solve the problem. In fact, it just goes to show us, because it now depends on, see, the three who's, everybody knows that looks like three gods right there. But for some reason, saying one what, they think solves the problem. Saying one what. Okay, now let's just show you. If you think, for example, do you even know the meaning of that one word that you just said? Do you know the meaning? Because if you don't know the meaning, then what are you saying? Okay, so you need to explain, what do you mean by that? Okay, if you think the one being, or the what is what's it called? If you think the what is ousia, or what's it called, is an essence. So the essence of these three who's is just one thing. they have one essence, okay? They are sharing one essence. And some people even say this outside, that they share one essence or they share one nature. Well, okay, if you think that they share one nature, is that what you mean by that? Because if that's what you mean, it's not actually difficult. We understand that because just like, for example, if you have 3 human beings, A, B, and C, these are 3 humans, okay? 3 who's, okay? This is a who. B is not equal to C, A is not equal to B, and B is equal to C, and this one is also equal to, okay? You have 3 individuals. This negation shows that they are not identical, okay? This negation I put here means A is not equal to B, so that means there are 3 different who's. So we have 3 who's. Now, can we say we have one what for humans? Of course we can say that. Because what are they? They are humans, okay? Who are they? They are A, B, and C. What are they? Humans. Okay, simple. Because this means that they have the same, the same nature. The human nature. If they have the same nature, then there are 3 humans, okay? Now, do you see what's going on here? Is that difficult? That's not difficult. Everybody understands that. Majority of the people, they actually understand the idea that, see, we are 3 who's and we are one what. That's the only thing that makes us say we have human rights. So when you're talking about human rights, okay, you are presupposing that, see, we are actually humans, all of us. We have one essence. We have the same essence. Okay, you are presupposing that we are different people. Maybe these guys are black, these guys are white, these guys are short, they are tall, these are the Vikings, these are this one, these are that. But we are one human. Okay, we believe we have the same human nature. Okay, even if someone is like in the forest that is like playing with sand somewhere, we still give them that right, that they are humans. Okay, so what differentiates us from other whats or other beings is the fact that we're humans. So we have that same essence. Okay, but we are different who's. So we can have 7 billion, for example. There are 7 billion who's right now, 7 billion human persons, 7 billion who's, but we still have one what. Now, that's not the question we are asking you. We are not asking you to tell us this because this is so self-evident. Everybody knows this, but you guys actually mean something else. Okay, you mean something else. Because now, let me now show you why I've already gone through the whole arguments, because I know what you guys are trying to say. What it seems is this: you guys think that, see, when we say one what, this is the one God. This is what, because what am I trying to defend here? Remember, I'm telling you guys, I have no problem with you guys. The only problem I have is this: monotheism. Okay, this is the God of Abraham. We, the Jews, the Muslims, we agree to this one God. Okay, no doubt about that. You guys also claim to have one God, but you have redefined it. That's the whole problem. You think saying we have one what, and you have 3 persons. One what and 3 who's solves the problem. And that's what I'm trying to show, that no, you're actually worshipping 3 gods. It's not monotheistic anymore. How? Now, let me show you how. Now, this is a question you need to answer. Can we have a who that is not a what? Let's now get deep into it. Can we have a who that is not a what? Okay, so let's say this is a person. Can we have a person A that is not a what? What does that even mean? Can you have a person that doesn't have a nature? Can you have a natureless person? If that's even a word, a natureless person. Such that this A is a person or a who, but it doesn't have a nature. Is that possible? Think about it before you answer. Can you have a human person that's not a human being? If you get it like that. Can you have anything? See, it's not just humans, by the way. I'm just using humans because you can understand it. It can be this pen. It can be anything whatsoever. So this pen now, for example, can we have this pen? This is an individual pen. Let me show you. This pen and this pen, they're different from each other. Okay, they're in different location, and this one is red, this one is blue. Now, these are both pens. They are different individual pens. So we have three woos. We have two woos right here. But each of them have their own nature. Okay? This has its own nature. This one has its own nature. If I throw this one away, this nature is still there. This one, it doesn't change its nature. Such that anytime, see, this is a claim. Anytime you see a woo, anytime there's a woo, that woo is a what also. It has its own nature. Every woo has a nature. If it doesn't have a nature, you cannot see the woo. I don't know if you guys can understand that. You can't have a human person that is not a human being. If that's more possible, if that's understandable. You can't have a person that doesn't have a nature. If you say that, then the next question I'm asking is this. Can we have a what that is not a who? You see, this question is much more difficult than the first one. You see, because it depends on the philosophy you now hold that will determine either of this question. For example, the Platonists, they believe, if I ask a Platonist, which most of you see all those early Christian church fathers, majority, that was the philosophy of that time. I'm not saying like it's bad or anything, but they were exposed to Neoplatonist philosophy from Plotinus, okay? You have people like even Gregory of Nyssa. He's a Platonist, okay? He's a Neoplatonist at least, about universals. So now, can we have a who that is not a what? If I ask a Platonist this question, they will say no, okay? They will say no. The Platonists will say no, because they don't believe, you can never, see, most people will say no. Most, even the Aristotelian. So, a Platonist and an Aristotelian, the Platonist will say no to this question. The Aristotelian will say no to this question. Now, the second question is now the main point of contention. This is where you can actually hide, okay? I can show you how you can hide here, but it's still, at the end of the day, it doesn't solve your problem, okay? Now, can we have a what that is not a who? Can we have a being without a person? That is the next question. Can we have the essence of something that it doesn't have a person? The Platonists will say yes to this. They will say, yes, you can have this. The Aristotelian will say, no, you can't. Because they believe, see, you can never see any nature without a particular. You cannot see a nature without a person to show that nature. Such that if there's no person, there's no nature. Okay? They believe this, that you only see natures in the persons. This is the idea. You only see natures in the persons, not the other way around. Okay? Now, the next thing is this. What's it called? The Platonists are the ones saying, see, you can have a what that is not a who. So you can have, they believe the natures are somewhere in the realm of forms, okay? They believe the natures are real. So if you are saying this, you mean the natures are real. And if you are denying this, you mean that maybe you can deny it on an Aristotelian basis, which would mean that every person is a particular what. Okay, remember this. Every person okay, every person or every who is a particular what. Just ask, see, if you want to understand this without going too much into the philosophy, just know this. Can you have a person that is not a human being? Can you have a human person that is not a human being? If you cannot, just know that this is what you're saying, that every person is a particular what. Now, in the case of the Trinity, now let's get there. In the case of the Trinity, we are saying the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, okay? We are saying these are the persons. These are the three who's, okay? The three persons. Now, the question is this. The one what? So these are the three persons. We can write it out. So we have three who's, and we have one what. So let's make the one what like this. This is the being, the one being. Now, this one being, is this something that is separate from the persons? It's a very important question. This one being, is this separate from the persons? See now, if I have a human being a human being, a human person. Okay, this is a human person, and this is the human nature. Let's say this is human nature. Are they separate from themselves? Can you have a human person without his own human nature? Is that possible? Okay, is that possible? The answer is no, on both grounds. Nobody can affirm this. Nobody can or has affirmed that you can have a person without a nature. There's nobody that can say this. Both Platonists and Aristotelian, and any way you want to look at it, there's no person that doesn't have a nature. Because by person, you mean that you can actually, you know them. For you to know something, you need to know who and what at the same time. But more fundamentally, what? Actually, the reason why I said this is more difficult, this second question, is because what is actually, in a sense, more fundamental than the who. Okay? The who is just differentiated. The what is something that you possess. Okay? Now, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are the three who's. This one what? Is this separate from them? Of course not. The only way you know the Father is because he has his nature. So the nature will be something like this. Okay? This will be the nature. This will be B now. Because the nature is in each and every one of them. We can make it like this. Okay? Such that the Father has, because you are saying it has full, let me just make it so that you understand it now. Why you have to, because the Father has full divine nature. If he has full divine nature, it means the Father has full divine nature, and the Son has full divine nature, and the Holy Spirit has full divine nature. If that is the case, then you have three gods, you have three beings right there. So your move of trying to avoid saying you have three beings fails, because we know that you can have a person without a being. If you didn't talk about persons, you would have been saved from this conclusion. But since you already know that the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit are different from each other, and each of them possess full divine nature, therefore you have three beings. Unless they don't have full divine nature. If they don't have full divine nature, maybe they are sharing it, then it will be partialism. And none of them will be fully God in that sense. So you see the problem with this. So when you use this kind of language, you think you are solving the problem. When you say you have three persons, the three who's and one what, you think you are solving the problem. No, it's because you have not thought deeper about it. If you think deeper about it, you will realize that the conclusion at the end of the day is that in the very sense of the word, you actually have three whats. You actually have three whats. Now, this what do I mean by you have three words? Does that even make sense? See, it means you have three who's, okay? Three who's, but their what is in each one of them, okay? Such that, I don't know if I'm repeating this over and over again, guys, but I hope you guys are not bored by this. But I want you guys to actually understand this, because this is the move that they use so that you understand how you cannot get around it. Okay, remember this phrase I gave you. Remember this phrase. Let me cover it, because I like to give like every phrase every time. Remember this phrase I gave you. Every person is a particular what. Anybody denying this, run them through the argument I've given you. If you deny that a person, you can have a person without a what, without his nature, then you need to show us how. How is that possible? Okay? It's not something like great, like it's impossible, it's a mystery. It's not a mystery, okay? What we're talking about is not any mystery anywhere. It's something you can understand using human beings, using every other thing you know. And if you want to say it's a mystery when it comes to your own doctrine, then that is just special pleading. You have hit a contradiction or something that is wrong, and you are the one that formulated it. And now you want us to forgive you and say it's a mystery and allow you to use that card. We'll not let you use that card. So guys, I think I've said enough on this. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, and subscribe.